Today, we are breaking down the entire life cycle of a business, from that first light bulb moment all the way to building a global empire. We're going to walk through a 5-stage roadmap that every single founder has to navigate.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? It can feel like this huge, mysterious journey. But what if there was a map? That's what we've got for you today. A clear, step-by-step guide to take you through the whole thing. All right, here's the game plan. We'll start with how to land on the right idea. Then, we'll talk about surviving those crazy early days. After that, it's all about scaling up to lead the market. And finally, we'll look at what it really means to be a big-time CEO. So let's jump right in. Okay, stage one, the right idea. And look, this might sound super obvious, but you would be shocked at how many businesses are basically dead on arrival. Why? Because the core idea was flawed. Maybe the founder was chasing a hot trend they didn't really get, or they followed a passion into a market that just wasn't there. So the first real challenge is finding an idea that actually fits you and has a fighting chance in the real world. So, how do you find that perfect idea? Well, there's this brilliant Japanese concept called Ikigai. Think of it as your reason for being. The absolute sweet spot for a business idea is right there in the middle, where 3 circles overlap. First, what are you actually good at? Like, what are your unique skills? Second, what do you genuinely love doing? And third, this is the big one, what will people actually open their wallets for? When you find that intersection, you've got something special.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Most businesses dive straight into what's called a red ocean. It's bloody, it's crowded, and everyone's fighting over the same small pool of customers. The smart play is the blue ocean strategy. You don't compete, you create. Think about Cirque du Soleil. They didn't just make a cheaper circus, no way. They fused circus arts with high-end theater and created an entirely new form of entertainment for a whole new audience. Just like that, the traditional circus became totally irrelevant to them.
Okay, so you found your incredible blue ocean idea. Fantastic. But now you slam into stage 2, the first hurdles. This is where the dream gets real, fast. You've got the concept? Now what? It's time to actually build the machine that, makes money. And the best way to think about this stage is to picture your business as a pipeline. Money flows through it, but your growth is always, and I mean always, limited by the narrowest part of that pipe. That's your bottleneck. Your job isn't to fix everything at once. It's to find the one single thing that's holding you back right now, fix it, and then find the next one.
And guess what? The first 3 bottlenecks are almost always the same. First, legitimacy. You've got to register your company, get that business bank account. It's a mental switch from hobby to real business. Next, visibility. You need to launch hard, make some noise, tell absolutely everyone. Then comes the third hurdle, revenue. That initial launch buzz is going to fade. You need a system, a website, some ads, whatever, that brings in sales consistently, day in and day out.
All right, so you've cleared those first hurdles. You've got a real business that's making consistent money. Awesome. Now we hit stages 3 and 4, which are all about taking that working business and turning it into a market leader. This is where you go from stable to dominant.
Now here's the crucial part. The skills that got you here won't get you to the next level. Your role as a founder has to evolve. You need to master 2 critical new skills. First, system design. You stop building the product yourself and, as Elon Musk says, you start building the machine that builds the machine. And second, leadership. You're not just a manager anymore, you have to shape a culture where your team can thrive and innovate without you micromanaging every little thing.
As you grow, you're going to attract copycats. It's inevitable. That's why you have to build a competitive moat. This is some kind of unique advantage that makes it incredibly hard for anyone else to do what you do. It's the defense system that protects your business for the long haul.
Just look at the giants, right? Amazon's moat isn't just its website, it's that unbelievably massive distribution network. Good luck competing with that. For Apple, it's the ecosystem. The more Apple stuff you own, the harder it is to switch. Google, it's their mountains of data and their deep-rooted culture of innovation. And Coca-Cola, well, their moat is one of the most powerful brands ever created. And that brings us to the final summit, stage 5, the CEO's role. We're at the very top now, and running a company at this scale is a completely different game than everything that came before it. This quote just nails the transition. The CEO of a massive company isn't in the weeds doing the work. They're not writing code or making sales calls. Their real job is to orchestrate. They spend all their time absorbing information, thinking about the big picture, and then making a few very high-stakes decisions that steer the entire ship. And at this level, you really see two main types of leaders. First, you've got the builder. This is your Steve Jobs, the visionary, the risk taker who just reinvents entire industries. Then you have the optimizer, like Tim Cook. They inherit a powerful machine and their job is to make it run smoother, more efficiently, and keep the shareholders happy. Both roles are vital, they just show up at different times in a company's life.
So there you have it. We've walked through the entire journey, from a simple idea scribbled on a napkin to a massive empire. Now the real question is, how do you apply this map to your own journey?
Let's just recap that journey one last time. You start by finding that perfect idea, using Ikigai and creating a blue ocean. Then you muscle through those early hurdles: legitimacy, visibility, and revenue. You scale up by building systems and a deep defensive moat. And finally, you evolve into a leader who decides and directs instead of just doing.
And that brings us right back to the most important question. It doesn't matter if you're on stage 1 or stage 4. Growth always comes down to one thing: finding and fixing the single biggest constraint that's holding you back. So I'll leave you with this. What's yours?